Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. So we're live on Facebook. My name is Verity. I'm a showbiz and TV reporter for The Mirror. And I'm here with the wonderful Cheryl Baker of Bucks Fizz fame. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fantastic, thank you. I've just texted my daughter, because you went to school with her, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was going to say to you, what a small world. Really small world. And yeah, so you're obviously, Bucks Fizz was the second to last winner of Eurovision. Obviously, the UK is generally ill-fated in the contest. Will you be watching tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be at the Stag Theatre in Sevenoaks because they're doing this alumni gig with, because Kyla and Natalie, my daughters, went to a theatre school and I was very involved in it. And so I'm going there and I'm hoping that I'll be finished in time to get home to see the Eurovision because I can't.
Yeah.
It's part of my DNA. I have to see it.
Yeah. And yeah, well, just on that note, your daughters are both so talented, I must say. Like, it obviously really runs in the family. I've seen some of their music online and yeah, amazing.
Thank you. It's very kind.
So you won in 1981 with Bucks Fizz, Making Your Mind Up. We've got a little video clip. There you are. Can you believe that that's 40 years ago? You look the same.
That was the money shot, right? When the skirts came off.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's 40 years. I truly can't believe it. I mean, there has been an awful lot that's happened in the meantime. But when I look back, I think 40 is like so long. And yeah, I look back on it and it seems like yesterday.
Yeah, and when you look back and you sort of watch it, how do you feel? Like, what kind of feelings does it bring back? What was your life like at that time?
Well, I had done Eurovision once before. I did it in 1978, and I'd been in a band for 5 years, and I'd gigged a lot. So I'd done an awful lot before Bucks Fizz. But then when I actually started with Bucks Fizz, when I was asked to join, it was January of 1981. So literally within 3 months, we'd gone from nowhere to, worldwide fame, because it actually did happen. When you win the Eurovision Song Contest, everybody wants a piece of you wherever they are in the world, And so just before that, I'd left my previous band and I was working in a studio, answering their letters, picking up their phone calls, doing backing vocals for different people. So I'd actually kind of left the business, if you like. I was just I'd taken a job. And then suddenly Bucks Fizz came along and changed my life completely.
Yeah, so, and you were created for the purpose of Eurovision, is that right? Initially?
Completely. Yeah. Mike Nolan knew the woman who put the group together. So he was always going to be the crux of our group. We all had to be short and blonde like Mike Nolan. Absolutely true.
Right.
I came along because Nicola knew that I had been in a band that did the Eurovision before. And then Jay came through a dance agency. Bobby came to an advert in The Stage. And we auditioned and we were put together. And literally, I can tell you the exact date. It was Sunday, the 11th of January. We were in the living room of Nicola, who put the group together, who came up with the name Bucks Fizz because it's her favourite drink. Yeah, honestly.
Wow.
I tell you, actually, what happened when they were doing the demo in the studio, she was drinking a Bucks Fizz and she said, "Now, what are we going to call this band?" And I know. We'll call it Bucks Fizz. That's how it came about. But anyway, 11th of January, sitting in a room, and she came in and said, "Right, you guys get to know each other. You are Bucks Fizz, and we're going to do the Song for Europe," which was on the 11th of March, so exactly 2 months later. And if we win that, then we're going on to do the Eurovision, which is the 4th of April. So literally in that small space of time, we went from nothing to everything.
Yeah. And what do you think it was that clinched it about the song or the performance? What do you think made you guys the winner?
The skirts.
Do you think?
I think that the song was right for the time. We'd come out of quite a dark time in the 70s, and in 1981, especially in the UK, it was very optimistic. We were looking forward to a better 1980 decade than the 70s had been. And because there had been riots, there had been strikes, it had been a really dark time. And so I think that winning the Eurovision and Charles and I getting married and the first London Marathon, and there were so many optimistic, positive things that happened in that year.
Yeah.
It just meant that our song was all skippy, hoppy, happy. We're all bright colours, skipping around the stage, dancing, the boys throwing us in the air. And then, you know, as I said earlier, the money shot, the skirts coming off.
Yeah. So I've read that a few different people have taken credit for the idea of the skirt ripping. So can we settle it for once and for all? Whose idea was it?
It was a combination because we were discussing it. We were discussing what outfits to wear. And I've always been a runner and I've got really chunky thighs, really muscly thighs. And so I wanted to wear a skirt down to the knee because that would be me. Jay Aston is tiny and she wanted to wear a skirt really short. And we were going on and on and on with this discussion. And I went, oh, for goodness sake, why don't we have both? Thinking I'll probably wear the long one and Jay will wear the short one. But the choreographer, Chrissy Wickham, said, that's it. On the line, if you want to see some more, we pull the top skirt off and the little one's underneath. And honestly, we won by 4 points, Verity. And those 4 points are definitely down to Velcro.
Yeah, I mean, it was so iconic. It's what people sort of bring up now. I think when I've mentioned to my parents I was speaking to you today, and that was what they sort of they brought it up and people recreated it. So yeah, it just became such an iconic thing for you guys, I think.
Well, like now showing the video, anyone who shows the video of Making Your Mind Up shows that clip when the skirt, you know.
Yeah.
There it is again.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got a question. Do you think that we, the UK, ever have a chance of winning again? What do you think?
I actually think that this year we will be on the left-hand side of the board. Now, whether James wins or not, I don't know. But I think he's got a really strong song. He's really credible. The rest of Europe know him because of the songs that he's written and co-written. And so I think maybe this year it might be a fairer vote. I know that, I mean, I think the jury votes are fair. And to be honest, I don't think we've been putting in the greatest songs, to be perfectly frank, in the past 2 years. But although I liked Suri with Storm, I thought that was a really good song.
Yeah.
It's the public vote that seems to send us down to the bottom again. So we need to get the rest of Europe on our side. We need them to like us again.
We do. I mean, we can't do any worse than 2003 when we got 0 points, but that was with Gemini, whose performance I watched on YouTube yesterday, and someone did comment that they had a point for every note sung in tune.
It was awful, wasn't it?
It wasn't great.
What they said was that because in those days, I think they used monitors. They didn't have in-ears. And they couldn't hear the monitors. So they couldn't hear each other, so they couldn't pitch.
Yeah.
So I did see them sing the song again live on a British television programme, and they sang it perfectly. So probably what they said was true, that they just couldn't hear.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that must be just your worst nightmare up on stage.
Honestly, live telly in front of hundreds of millions of people, but for you know to not be able to hear must be like you say, your worst nightmare.
Just dreadful. So we've got a question from John that says, apart from yourselves, I presume that means the UK, because me and Cheryl aren't actually entering as an act together. Maybe next year. Who are your favourite Eurovision entries? Who's your favourite?
There's loads. Like I say, I loved Suri. I can't believe that Suri carried on when that guy jumped up on the stage and took her microphone. I don't know. I think I would have just crumbled there and then, because the fear, I mean, he could have had a knife. The fear of what must have gone through her. I think she must have just carried on with adrenaline. But apart from that, obviously ABBA. ABBA was amazing. Although when you look at the performance, all they did was go, Waterloo. There was no, like with us, there was a big dance routine. They didn't actually do anything. I think once they stood back to back and that was it. But the song was fantastic, and it was like Making Your Mind Up 5 years or 7 years later. It was right for the time. Waterloo was right for the time, and the look and everything about them. And actually, I think that this has happened again, because one of my favourites for this year is definitely Iceland. I think Iceland was last year, and they look so different. And the little dance routine that's so simple, but it's different again. You know, there they are. I love them, and
I love them.
They're family and friends. I think it's even better. You know, I'd love to see them win. Well, I'd like to see James win, but if not,
I mean, I feel a bit sorry for Iceland because they were kind of dead cert winners last year, and then obviously it got called off. I don't know if their song is as good this year. It's very, very similar. They've obviously sort of used the same formula for their song this year, but I don't know if I like it quite so much. But then now, one of the band has tested positive for COVID. One of the other members was in the room with them, so they're all they thought we can't split up and one of us does it and the other one doesn't, so they're just using pre-recorded rehearsal footage, so they haven't had to pull out, but they won't be able to perform. Hopefully that won't affect their chances, but I mean, in terms of the favourites to win, I think it sort of depends on where you look, but it seems to be the top three are Italy, France and Malta. Have you had a chance to see any of those?
Yeah, all of them. Malta, I think she's amazing. And I found out yesterday she's only 18 years of age. I mean,
she won Junior Eurovision, didn't she?
I don't know.
She won. I've got it in my notes. Yeah, she won Junior Eurovision in 2015. So she's fresh out of that, and she's great. And I love her message as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's a big woman and with this massive voice, I think it's a good song, you know, and she performs really well. So I think that she's definitely going to be top three, and I'd like to see Iceland up there. I'd love to see James. Maybe James could make top 5. I don't know. Not so struck on France, I don't think. Hang on, I've got to remember.
I don't love France. It's this sort of power. I think it's called Voila or something like that, and it's a bit of a power ballad. Yeah. I like it, but it's not my favourite.
No.
Same with Italy. I do like Italy. They're kind of the Italian Arctic Monkeys. A bit of a sort of rocky look. There they are.
Yeah, no, I liked them. I don't know if it's a winning song, but I did like them. I'll tell you the one I liked, and they went out in the semis on Tuesday. Australia. I thought the Australian girl had the most amazing voice.
Yeah, with the sort of pink shaved head.
Yeah, I thought she would definitely go through. She was up. I gave her 9, and I gave Malta 9. I gave her my highest points, and she didn't get through. So you never know how the votes are going to go. You just don't. You don't know what everyone else is thinking.
Yeah, and I think my personal favourite is Sweden, which I think the song is called Million Voices or something like that. I love that one.
I love him, and I think the song's great. I think he performed it. Look at that face. He's beautiful.
He is.
He was one of my. I gave him 8 actually.
Yeah, and it's got the key change, which is so important to me.
Important to the Eurovision. It's very rare that you get a Eurovision song without a key change.
Yeah, very true. And so with James Newman, he's had an incredible career already. He's won a Brit for a song that he has written on. He's worked with Little Mix, Ed Sheeran. He's been on the radio a lot. So if he doesn't win, I suppose to him it was probably maybe just a fun thing that he wanted to do, and it's not the end of the world. He's having an incredible career anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it'll ruin his career. I think a lot of people are concerned that it might damage their career, but I don't honestly think it does. If you don't,
it certainly didn't for you. I mean, 40 years later, and you're at the Fizz now.
For us, it made us, because we were nobodies, and then when we won the Eurovision, we were somebodies, and I've been a somebody ever since, and it's all because of making your mind up and the Eurovision contest. But if you lose, I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, you can't. It can only be one winner a year, and that you're up against 25 other countries, so the chances are that the odds are stacked way against you for winning. And if you lose, I mean, there have been losers in the past. Gemini, unfortunately, did. They definitely suffered because, there was a lot of flack about how bad they sung and everything like that. But generally, I mean, like with Blue, they came 11th. But they had a hit single with it. That in Europe, they went to number 3 with the song I Can, which was their Eurovision song. It went to number 3 in Germany. It went to number 8 here, I think.
Yeah.
Number 8 in Italy. So they still had a big hit, even though they came 11th, you know. So, you know, I don't think it damages you. I think anyone who's offered the opportunity to do Eurovision should jump at it, because
Absolutely.
It's the most amazing occasion. It really is. It's all the glitz and glamour about it. It's fabulous. It takes you out of the real world for a couple of weeks, and culminating with that big night on the Saturday, and it's huge fun.
Yeah, and I love what it stands for. You know, it's become such a celebration of inclusion and acceptance, and, you know, people from all different walks of life. It seems to really represent that, and I think that's why people love it. I absolutely love it. Me and my dad watch it every year. We have a Eurovision party, just the two of us. But yeah, it's just such good fun.
It is, and everything you just said, and everybody on the planet should go to the Eurovision at least one time in my life on their bucket list, because if you haven't been, when you go there, they always build a village. I mean, obviously it couldn't happen. Well, maybe it has happened this year. I don't know. But generally, people from all walks of life and from all over the world come to stay in this village, and there are pop-up restaurants and bars and cafes, and the atmosphere is wonderful. There's so much love. There's so much, as you say, inclusion, kindness, fun. Everyone's waving their flags, but there's no animosity. It's all for one and one for all. It's amazing. So everybody should go.
Yeah, I'm just on that topic. I'm not sure about what they're doing with regards to the building a little village, but I can say that they are all the countries are bubbled up separately and can't mingle with each other, and they are staying in their hotel rooms pretty much all the time unless they're performing. Everyone is tested.
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's a shame, because it's a real social event, actually.
Yeah.
For an artist, but then you've got to be safe. So yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's being tested every 48 hours, and the audience is only going to be about 3,500 people, so smaller than usual.
They're all from Holland, aren't they? They're all
yes.
Holland, yeah. Whereas normally you've got an audience of you know, thousands of people from all over the world. They all come. Australians, you know, who knew Australia was in Europe? But there you are.
Yeah, also Israel.
We've always loved Eurovision. When we won the Eurovision in '81, one of the first things we had to do was fly to Australia to promote Making Your Mind Up, because they love Eurovision. And I think, you know what? It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in Europe. Israel's not in Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
I think, and there are people that say, oh, you've got to be in the I don't know, some union or the other, and that means that they can be, Turkey can be, and it doesn't matter. If you love Eurovision, be in it. Just because it's called Eurovision doesn't mean you've got to be in Europe.
No, exactly.
Fantastic.
So we've got a question from Dan. If you could choose anybody to compete for the UK, who would you choose?
Little Mix.
That popped into my head as well. They are our best British band, really, that are still going as well.
Yeah.
It's gotta be them. And in fact, some of them, when I was watching some of the acts yesterday, a lot of them I could compare to Little Mix, also Ariana Grande. I don't know if that's on purpose or not, but yeah, there's definitely nods to, and also Dua Lipa. I think a lot of the acts have incorporated.
Some of them really, some of them really are very, very similar to a big star that obviously they love. And have you noticed as well that some of the girls are wearing dresses that are really similar? I don't know if they've got the same maker, but there's especially that silver look with all the sparkles, really short and tight and everything.
Yeah.
3 or 4, I think, of those.
Yeah, and I've seen the ponytails and Oh, that's a lovely message there from John.
I served Bucks Fizz in Glasgow in '86. The group, not the drink. You were very funny and friendly. A proper pop star. Oh, that's a nice thing to say.
That is nice.
Thank you.
When is Eurovision aired? So it is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on BBC One.
And it's live.
And it is live, yes. And I believe it'll be Graham Norton as usual.
Yes.
And we've got Amanda Holden doing the reporting, giving out the points and stuff. So that'll be really fun. And just back to you, Cheryl. I just wanted to talk about the Fizz, which is that's what you're doing now, isn't it? And that is with Mike Nolan and Jay Aston.
Yeah.
How is that going? Have you got any music or tours lined up?
We're gigging tonight for the first time in many, many months. It was because the lockdown was released a little bit more, wasn't it, on Monday? And we're playing at, it's a Warner's, and they take over these big stately homes. And the gig will be with an audience that are seated at tables separate. So we've got to do 2 shows, but you know what? Just to get on the stage and perform is going to be amazing. I've just before talking to you, I was in I've got a dressing room with all my outfits and my wardrobe and everything. I was just packing my stuff. So it's just so great to be working again. And next gig, I mean, really this summer is very sporadic because people are nervous about going ahead with certain gigs. We've lost loads. Prides and festivals have all gone, and we've had to move our own tours, but we are gigging again in June and July, but it's actually September when everyone thinks that we'll be safe, and that's when everything really kickstarts. Our tour, the Up Close and Personal tour, we start it again then, and lots of gigs, especially September. It's a really busy month going through into next year. I mean, next year's looking busy because last year was pushed onto this year, which was pushed onto next year. So it's been fine. I mean, you have to live with it. You have to get on with it because you can't change what's happened in the world. I mean, you know, a pandemic. This is going to make history in centuries' time. Like we now look back and say the bubonic plague when that happened. People are going to talk about this period in centuries to come, because this is almost like the bubonic plague. It's millions of people have died because of this pandemic, and so you have to keep safe. We have to keep safe, and if that means you can't work, you can't work.
Yeah, and you've been very refreshingly honest in interviews that I've seen about how difficult it's been for you, and you know, for a lot of performers during this time. You know, with not much support and everything closing down. So I'm so glad that things are opening up again now, and hopefully it'll be an exciting summer, and it's especially exciting next year when everything, fingers crossed, will be back on. And you know, and as you say, it has been this dreadful time, so I think now more than ever we really need Eurovision and just that escape and fun and campness, and I just can't wait.
We do need it. It's our industry was the first to shut down, you know, all the theatres and everything, and the last to open. And so it's not just the performers, it's the technicians, it's the musicians, it's everything to do with theatre and entertainment that has been we've just had the rug taken from under our feet. So I wasn't the one who was saying, woe is me. I was saying it on behalf of my whole industry. I know lots of other people have suffered in their own way. I can only speak of what I know, and that's what I know. But you know, I'm still here. I haven't lost my house, and you know, people have been very kind, and I'm just looking forward to getting back out there and doing what I do. I can't retire. I'm of an age when I could retire. All of my friends have retired, but I can't think of anything worse. I mean, I've enjoyed lockdown because I've been doing loads of gardening. I've been writing my autobiography. Natalie made me start again. I had started it years ago, but Natalie got my laptop and she said, "Mum, come on, you know, you've had such a life. Let's write it down." She started helping me. So I've been doing that. And as I say, gardening. I'm just looking out now, seeing the wind trying to blow me greenhouses over. But so I've made the most of it. And but all the time thinking, I've got to sing again. I've got to sing again, because that's
Yeah, well, and tonight you can. So best of luck with that one. And tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eurovision. Let us know if you're watching. There's a hashtag Eurovision. I hope everyone enjoys. And thank you so much for speaking to me today, Cheryl.
Thank you, Verity. I shall go and pack my jewellery and my shoes. I've done my clothes. I've got to do the accessories now.
Oh gosh, well, you best get on. And thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and I'll see you soon.